Hi, I'm excited to work with you on using networking to find more work opportunities. The more people you know, or the more presence you have online, the more likely you'll be able to find opportunities or have opportunities find you. I want to share a story with you. The first time I networked was when I was 13 years old and wanted to find an after-school job as a babysitter. I asked my parents for advice. They told me to look at the classified ads of the newspaper to see who was looking, to post flyers at my school to advertise, and to also ask my parents' coworkers if they knew anyone looking for a babysitter. I actually had a few people reach out after seeing my flyers, but I got my first babysitting gig from a friend of my mom's coworker. I have always used the same networking system whenever I search for a new job. Nowadays, instead of using the classified section of the newspaper, I search for openings on job boards like Indeed and Dice. Networking gave me access to more job boards. I joined a lot of local professional groups which have their own job boards not open to the general public. After college, I moved across the country, unemployed, and I got a job from a posting in a local group listserv. For most of my career, I would say my LinkedIn profile was pretty bad because I didn't take it seriously. However, one day I took the advice from Udacity's LinkedIn course and rebranded myself on my page. I got 3 emails from recruiters that week. Those recruiters found me because I optimized my LinkedIn profile for searches. And instead of asking my parents' coworkers for job leads, I attended meetups and mixers to connect with people in the industry and have found job opportunities that way. I found my current job at Udacity through a conversation with someone in the tech industry who I actually didn't know all that well at the time. You don't know where opportunity will come from, and the best way to make sure you don't miss out on an opening is to have a great online presence and network. In this lesson, we'll review how to network and spend some time on personal branding, which will make sure your networking attempts lead to job opportunities. Hey Chris.
Hi Trin.
Over the past year that we've been working together on the careers team at Udacity, you've developed so much, so many of our web apps, so many of our data backend, and I was really surprised when I learned that you've actually only been a software engineer for a year. And so I'm just really curious to see how you got here.
Yeah, that's right. I've been a software engineer at Udacity for a year, and my career, I guess, started a little bit more than 10 years ago. I was originally an admission counselor, and I got into tutoring and teaching. I even did a stint as an administrator working at a psychiatrist's office learning about medicine and health insurance.
Well, that's a really diverse background. How did you end up from a psychiatrist's office to being a software engineer?
So it was definitely a long, winding road. I think for me, I first got curious about software engineering through teaching. I made some courses at Udacity in math and data analysis and product design. And along the way, I picked up coding skills. So I learned a little bit about Python, I learned JavaScript, I learned how to think computationally, how to think kind of more like a computer scientist. And I've just been learning ever since. For me, I think the biggest thing was trying to acquire all those skills and then convince people that I had enough skills to build something and to contribute to a larger organization.
Mm-hmm. It's great that you brought that up. I speak with a lot of people about their career development, and so many of them took the initiative like you to learn on their own time, some while they're working full time, but they still kind of face a barrier in that it's hard for them to convince people that yes, I am qualified, and yes, even though I don't have background in this job, I can still do it. How did you approach that problem?
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a hard one, and I think it's easy to feel like you're an imposter or you don't have enough skills. And I think the biggest thing you can do is, one, practice, but also two, tell yourself that you are a software engineer. Talk about your projects, talk about them technically with other people. That will build your confidence in your own abilities and your ability to communicate that you can do this work. So I think for me, I know one of the things that I had to do was just kind of turn off that voice in my head that says, oh, you're not good enough, or oh, you don't know enough things. Just turn off that imposter syndrome entirely and talk about what I can do and what I have done. And that's what can really help you get an interview and succeed in those interviews.
A lot of people, when they're transitioning to a new career for the first time, it's really hard for them to introduce themselves and package everything that you just said about yourself into kind of a short introduction to other people. So do you have any strategies on how people can approach talking to other people about their career change?
Yeah, I think one of the best things that you can do is to use an elevator pitch.
Regardless of which type of networking event you attend, the number one thing that will help you navigate all of them is having a great elevator pitch. Elevator pitches were originally known as sales pitches and lived solely in the business world. However, they soon became popular across all industries because it was a way for people to quickly communicate the purpose and value of something. Having an elevator pitch is invaluable in your career development. These short sentences will find their way in your LinkedIn summaries, in talking to a recruiter, in small talk with friends, or in requesting a promotion. Elevator pitches also help outside of networking, such as in a job interview, when the employer asks you why you're applying or what you're interested in. I have to admit that I did not like my first experience with elevator pitches. I was at a professional development event and was put in with a group of strangers, and we all had to respond to the prompt, "Tell me about yourself." I was first. I rambled. I blocked a lot of that experience from my memory, but I'm sure I sounded like this. "Hi, I'm Trin. I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I go to school, and I'm interested in education, but I've never worked in education, and yeah, that's why I'm here today, to help me make that transition." I was really embarrassed, especially when everyone else gave their answers and sounded like they had their life together. But it was also a great learning experience because after hearing myself, I kept thinking, why did I need to tell people where I grew up? Is that really important for my career? Why did they need to know that I was transitioning careers or that I was new to this industry? I was at the event. Doesn't that mean I was already interested? This experience taught me that if I wanted to sound confident and communicate well, I needed a concise elevator pitch that showed what I wanted and why I wanted it. My elevator pitch now is, I'm a project manager passionate about personalized education. After working in nonprofits and public policy, I believe lifelong learning is the solution to many societal issues. I'm excited to apply my teaching and management skills at Udacity. So let's dive into how to develop an elevator pitch with personal branding in mind.
As I was coming up with my elevator pitch during my career change, I kept thinking about two things. One, what did I want employers to know about me? And two, what was I most proud of? I wanted employers to know that I'm passionate about education, but I wanted to be a software engineer. I wanted them to know I worked hard to get where I was then and that I was worth taking a chance on because if I got the job, I would give it everything I had. So my elevator pitch ended up being something like this. Hi, I'm Chris, a full-stack software engineer who loves building education products. I recently developed a web app using AngularJS that lets teachers share student writing samples anonymously. I'd love to combine my passion for teaching and learning with my software development skills to continue building personalized learning products for people. My elevator pitch isn't something I recite when I meet someone. That would be weird to say hi and then just dive into the pitch. However, I could write this pitch as my LinkedIn summary. When I'm talking to someone, I communicate the points in my pitch throughout the conversation. Let me show you what that looks like. Pretend in the next video that Tren is a recruiter and I'm a job seeker meeting her at a mixer for education startups. Hi, I'm Chris.
Hi, I'm Trin. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Are you a software engineer?
No, actually, I'm a technical recruiter at Udacity.
Oh, cool. I actually really like Udacity. I've taken a number of Udacity's online courses. You guys have really helped me, learn at my own pace, and I love that I have a flexible, learning time.
That's really awesome to hear. Which projects have you been working on?
So I actually recently was building an application that lets teachers share student responses anonymously, and it's been going really well. I am trying to actually add in GraphQL, which is a fairly recent technology, so that way I can query the data a little bit easier.
It's actually pretty funny that you mentioned working on an app like that because Udacity is looking into developing something similar.
Oh, very cool. Can I get your card?
Yeah, of course. I'd really love to hear from you, so send me an email after this mixer.
Great, thanks so much. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.